Welcome to Live From Your Heart. This isn't just a podcast you'll listen to. This is for those moments in your life when you start to realize something's off. Maybe you've spent years doing what was expected, showing up for everyone else, playing the roles, and somewhere along the way, you lost connection with yourself. If that's you, you are in the right place. Every week, I'm going to have real conversations about what it actually looks like to come back to your own heart and start living from that place again, or perhaps for the first time. And if at some point you realize you're ready for more than just listening, I'm going to show you what the next steps look like. So let's get started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hey, it's Les. Live in your heart. It's so hard to believe already into May of 2026. I want to go forward this morning. In this episode, which is episode 19, we're going to talk about the patterns that we continue to repeat over and over again. You know, we have walked through in season number 2, the day we finally admitted the truth. We talked about success and how it can be that drug. We talked about the cost of approval and when your heart says enough, and loneliness being a part of the alignment, which we all hate. Last week, we talked about the difference between love and escape. Yeah. And today, we take a shift. We're going to talk about the patterns that we just keep repeating, especially in the process of finally learning to live from our own heart. This repeating loop. And so here's the thought process I want you to walk through with me today. If something happens and it keeps happening in your life, it is not random. If it's repeating itself over and over again, folks, it's not random. Some years and years and years ago, as I was learning to help people learn to live from their own heart, and I didn't even know that's what I was doing. I had a mentor talk about the 200,000 hours of parenting tapes that play, and they play over and over and over again in our mind. And they repeat. And generationally, we have to decide, are we going to keep repeating the bad, or are we going to put a stop to the things that are harmful and move forward and set up a completely new 200,000 hour of parenting tapes? And are we going to move forward? We have to ask ourselves this question: why does this keep happening to me? And start asking, why do I keep choosing this? Yeah, it's not why does it keep happening, but why did I choose it? Why did I choose to continue the generational breakdown, knowing that my ancestors made some of these same stupid mistakes? And I got to tell you, when you hear those two questions, I didn't like, why do I keep choosing? I don't like that question because it shifts absolutely everything in my life. Here's what it does. It moves us, and it moved me from being a victim of patterns to being responsible for them. And in this world today, it's more cool to be a victim. Playing the victim card plays really, really well. But it's time to take responsibility for what we choose. And I want to talk about the patterns that we keep repeating, the patterns I kept repeating, even when I knew better. So let's jump in. So here's kind of the set. If you'll think this process through and walk with me. Similar situations, they keep showing up. Same types of relationships and decisions and outcomes, different faces, maybe even different cities, but same results. And at first, it felt like a coincidence of, it just happens that way. It's not a coincidence, folks. When we start noticing, but we still justify, oh my gosh. And this is what we tell ourselves. Well, this time is different. Okay. This place I'm living now is different. This job I've chosen, this is different. This relationship that I've gotten into, he or she is so much different than the last one. This situation isn't different. It's the same. And here's what we do. Okay. The outcome, yeah, it's a circle back. Oh my gosh. And we wake up one morning and we go, I've done it again. I've done it again. We realize it's not them. It's not the people I'm working with. It's not the place I'm living. It's not the job I'm taking. Hey, it's not that stuff. It's me. Okay. It's me. I'm the one that's broken. We stop blaming and we get some clarity. And here's what we see when this process happens. We allow it, we choose it, and we keep doing it. Yeah, we allow it, we choose it, and we keep doing the same things again. Wow. What's the cost? I can tell you what the cost was. Time. Time. And life is really short. In July, I'll be 67 years old. I got to tell you, I wasted a lot of years doing this process before I finally started living from my own heart. Yeah, time. I lost a lot of time. I put a lot of energy into something that was of no value. The emotional stability was lost. Trusting myself, my own decisions. Yeah. And eventually, you go through this process of cost, and then you don't trust any decision you make anymore. You stop trusting your own judgment. Oh, just kind of pause and go, oh my God, I look back at all the stupid things I've repeated over and over and over again. So what can we do? What can we do? The patterns are similar, but they're not healthy. Okay. And we didn't choose what was best. We just chose what was familiar. We keep repeating the same things over and over again. Yeah. Yeah. Not healthy. And we keep doing it even when it doesn't work. And we sit here and go, why won't this work? Why did I do this again? Okay, well, let's walk through the next step. Okay. Every pattern teaches us something. Every pattern gives us something. And it's a loop. This is why we keep doing it. Every pattern gives us approval. Every pattern gives us control. Every pattern gives us avoidance. And every pattern gives us comfort. And we can't live from our own heart in that loop. Hey, can't. And awareness of these things doesn't break it. We have to interrupt the pattern. But what does that require? A different choice. A different choice. We have to choose differently. I remember after my divorce, I gotta tell you, folks, I was lost for a while. Um, and I'm teaching all this to myself because I've lived this. But I had been in a relationship that was on again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again. Not to bore you with all the minutia, but I'd gotten to a place of healing where that's in the past. I had some dear friends that had invited me to come and spend the summer with them in the mountains. And it was a healing time for me. And I was going through the process and just listening and trying to learn and trying to plug myself in properly. And I was avoiding her. This is long before we had the heavy connection in our pockets. So it wasn't easy to connect to people. You still had to use a landline. Um, and I'd been doing some job interviews, and I was at my friend's house where I was staying in the middle of the day, and I was expecting a phone call from a company for a second interview. The phone rang, and folks, this is even before we had caller ID. I pick up the phone, and guess who it was? And there was a victim on the other end of the line, and I got a story, and I got crocodile tears, and I got all this stuff. And it was like a vacuum sucked me in. Yeah. Wasn't but a few hours until I was literally packed and on my way 500-mile drive back to where she was. Oh my God. I'll never forget what my friends told me when I told them I was leaving. They said, just remember, you can't come back here again. This was a one-time offer. The door's closed. That was tough love. It really was. Did it last? No. Was it a repetition of the same things again? Oh my God, ad nauseum. It was awful. See, awareness wasn't enough for me. And I could see the pattern, but I still couldn't break it until one day there was an explosion, literally, to people trying to make something work that wasn't supposed to work. There was an explosion, and I came to my senses. And I said, this is never going to be any different, and I shouldn't be here. And I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Yeah. That was the moment I realized this is it. I've got to make a hard change. I got to make a hard right. And I did. I left it all there in the dumpster in that city. And I drove away and I never looked back. That was the beginning of learning to finally live from my own heart. So let me ask you this question. It took me hard. It took me a hard lesson to learn this. What pattern in your life have you seen that you keep stepping back into? And maybe the more important question is, what are you getting from it? What are you getting from it? Because I had to look at this in my own life. It wasn't easy. It really meant admitting I wasn't just experiencing this stuff, but I was participating. Yeah. I was part of the problem. I kept doing and saying and acting out. And I stopped feeling stuck and started seeing a way out. And I took it. So ask yourself this question. Yeah. What pattern in your life have you seen and you keep stepping back into it again and again? It doesn't matter what it might be. It's career choices, it's relationships. Yeah. It's places you move to or live, things you repeat over and over and over again that are not good and healthy for you. What are you getting from it? What are you getting out of it? Heartache, heartbreak, brokenness, still playing the victim? Let me tell you, folks, if you're going to live from your own heart, this is really where it breaks open. And this is where you can make huge gains. Let me encourage you. Let me encourage you again. If you need help, connect to me through my show notes. In my show notes, there is a link. You can schedule an appointment and you and I can have a conversation. Look, folks, I've been doing this for 40 years. Experience. Yeah. I didn't learn this from a book. I learned this from life. If you need help, reach out. Don't stay where you are. Break the pattern. It's what I do. I help people. I help people walk through this process to get to a healthy place in their life and learn to live from their own heart. So let me encourage you. Take a step forward. Schedule a time for you and I to talk. I hope you have a blessed week. I'll see you again next week on Live From Your Heart. It's Les Paul Klein. God bless. Take care. Let me ask you something. If you're listening right now and you know you've been living out of alignment, you've been showing up for everyone else, and somewhere along the way you lost yourself, then this isn't just a podcast for you. This is your moment. This is your moment. Look, I work privately with a small number of people who are ready to reset their life and start living from their own heart again. Not someday, but now. Now's the time. If that's you, go to the link in the show notes and schedule that private conversation with me. We'll have a conversation. We'll talk. We'll get clear. We'll see if this is your next step. But don't just listen. Don't be a sponge. Make a move. Make a move. Click that link and let's talk.